Most of my life, I've been living with my grandparents because my mother had me at a very young age and she just wasn't ready to handle the responsibility. When I was 13, my mom decided she was ready to take me back. So, one day she pulled me out of school, took me home to pack a single duffel bag, and then dragged me out to Texas. I remember that the second we got in the car and started driving away from my grandparents' house, I just started crying because I felt like my life was going to be flipped upside down. My new home in Texas basically reminded me of a military boot camp. My parents were divorced, but they were still living together, along with my stepdad. They thought I was being spoiled all my life, so they made me do all the dishes, cook, and clean everyone's room to, quote, teach me about responsibility and respect. Also, my dad was very aggressive and he just kept punishing me. They have never tried to listen or speak with me, and things got even worse when my parents found a pack of cigarettes in my backpack. They got really pissed and said, if you don't want to learn, then you can just work. So, I found a job at a fast food chicken place. I dreaded going home, so I just started spending time at the park, which was close to my work, so it all worked out. One day, I noticed a few homeless people there, so I just walked up to them and said, hey, can I get a cigarette? That's how our friendship began. It started out as a mutually beneficial relationship. I would bring them leftover food from my job, and in return, they'd buy me cigarettes. I got along the most with Danny. He was an ex-Navy and Korean War vet. I used to just ask him to tell a story, and then we'd be there for hours, sitting at the park bench, smoking hand-rolled cigarettes. I enjoyed spending time with them, because they were just so interesting. God, the stories that they could tell. I was happy to have someone in my life that had enough patience to tell me stories and just answer my questions. And here came my 16th birthday. That day, I went to the park to be with my homeless friends. Turns out, they had a surprise for me. They took me to the local grocery store and let me pick out what toppings I wanted for my burgers. They paid for everything themselves, even refusing my money. When we got back to the park, there was a cake waiting for me too. I remember, I was crying. I've never felt that anyone cared about me so much. It was even more special because these people had literally nothing. We cooked our burgers on those permanent, disgusting grills that they have installed at parks, and when I was blowing out the candles on my cake, one of them pushed my face into it. We had a goddamn party. It was my best birthday because of the feeling of friendship that I felt that day, and I've never felt it prior or since. A few months later, me and my family moved to Albuquerque. But before that, I did manage to sneak out and say goodbye to my friends. I missed them, and all the experiences that we had. They cared about me in a way that my parents just never did. These homeless people taught me a lot about myself. I wouldn't change a thing, because what I felt then, that love and friendship, well, it only comes once in a lifetime.